All right, so get ready because we're diving deep today into a talk by Dan Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
This guy,
The marketing guru.
yeah, the marketing guru, Dan Kennedy, all about status,
Money.
autonomy, and yeah, of course, money.
The good stuff.
The stuff we all, think about.
Oh, I love it.
And we are breaking down a YouTube video of him speaking to a whole room
A room full of entrepreneurs.
of entrepreneurs.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to pull out like
Just a gem.
the juiciest bits
Yeah.
for you guys.
He is known for that straightforward style.
Oh, yeah.
So
Good idea.
expect some bold statements.
Yes.
Real world advice.
I love it.
Straight to the point.
So our mission today is to uncover, like I said, those golden nuggets of wisdom,
Yes.
how to boost your status in the business world, gain more control over your work, and ultimately understand,
Crack the code.
crack the code of
Yeah.
wealth creation.
He doesn't mess around with
Yeah.
surface level tips.
Right.
He goes
It's like to the point.
mindset.
Mindset shifts.
Those aha moments.
Aha moments. I love this. Okay, so
Yeah.
he kicks things off by talking about the Kardashians
Okay.
and their $100 million deal.
All right.
Now, before you roll your eyes, okay, he's making a point about how money is drawn to
Perceived value.
perceived value.
It might not be what we traditionally consider valuable, but what the market perceives as
Okay.
valuable.
Exactly.
It's a head scratcher at first.
It is a head scratcher.
But he's challenging us
Yeah.
to look beyond those personal opinions,
Yeah.
to understand those forces at play.
The forces at play. Think about,
Think about it. What makes their brand so powerful?
well, what does make their brand so powerful?
Right.
Okay, so then he drops this gem.
Oh, yeah.
He says, your job, one in business, is to organize everything you do to be in alignment with why and how
How money moves.
money moves. Like, what does it even mean?
I mean, he's telling us to get savvy about the market.
Okay.
Truly understand our clients' desires and position ourselves accordingly. It's working smarter, not harder,
Right.
aligning your efforts with how money actually flows.
So true.
Mm-hmm.
And then he shifts gears
Yeah.
and talks about autonomy. He paints this picture of what he calls the enemies of autonomy.
Okay, the enemies of
Yeah,
this.
the things that like keep us stuck in a rut,
Okay.
like industry norms,
Fear of rocking the boat.
fear of rocking the boat. Yeah. And he even shares a personal story about choosing
His passion.
his passion for horse racing over, conventional business practices.
It's inspiring.
It's inspiring.
He's saying you don't have to sacrifice your personal life or passions to succeed.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Could design a business
Around your ideal lifestyle.
or your ideal lifestyle.
Mhm.
Amazing. And then he throws down this gauntlet.
Oh.
He says, violate every single industry norm.
Is he serious?
Is he serious?
I think he is.
I think he is.
He backs it up with solid example. Sleep Number.
Okay.
They totally disrupted the traditional mattress industry.
Totally.
Right.
And think about Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Their park design.
Oh, genius.
Genius.
Not exactly following the rule book.
Right.
That single entrance and exit,
Yes.
funneling everyone.
Past the maze of merchandise.
Yes, amazing merchandise.
Yeah. Also smart.
It's about being willing to challenge conventions and find those creative solutions.
Challenge the conventions. Be creative.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so let's get down to like
Brass tacks?
brass tacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kennedy introduces this 3-step sales system.
Okay.
And he says it's all about becoming a welcome guest
Oh.
instead of
An annoying pest.
an annoying pest. Remember that anecdote
Oh, yeah.
he tells about the
Someone banging on his patio door
Yeah.
while he's on an important call.
He's on a call.
Talk about unwelcome.
So unwelcome.
Right.
But it highlights the importance of being relevant
Yes.
and urgent
Urgent.
with our message.
Yeah.
Showing up at the right time.
the right time with the right solution.
With the right solution. Think about it.
Think about it.
You're more receptive to someone who understands your problems.
Yes.
And offers help at the exact moment you need it.
That's the kind of value that makes you a welcome guest.
Right. You're not going to turn them away. You're
No.
going to be like, oh,
Come on in.
come on in. Please help me.
Yeah.
Okay. He breaks down these 4 elements of being a welcome guest.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So there's status, invitation information, and dramatic urgency.
Oh, chromatic urgency.
Yeah. And he also mentions the right to prescribe.
The right to prescribe. What is that?
What is that all about?
Yeah.
So that's about establishing yourself as the go-to expert.
Okay.
Think of it like a doctor
Okay.
diagnosing a problem.
Yeah.
and confidently offering a solution.
Makes sense.
Right.
People are more willing to take advice from someone they see as an authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He even says to adopt a stern but loving parent persona with your clients. It's funny because we actually crave that guidance.
We do.
You know, like with GPS navigation.
Yeah.
Or like those fitness trackers.
Tell us what to do.
That tell us what to do. We want it.
Yeah.
But that authority has to be earned.
Right.
Right? And that's where predetermination comes in.
Predetermination?
Predetermination.
Okay.
He tells this crazy story about buying Dean Martin's Rolls Royce.
What?
On a whim.
Oh my God.
At a car museum.
Wow.
He didn't need another car, but
it was Dean Martin's.
it was Dean Martin's.
So the price was irrelevant.
So the price was almost irrelevant.
That's predetermination.
That's predetermination in action.
Okay.
Creating a situation where your ideal client is already convinced they want what you offer before you even talk about price.
I like that.
He says when desire is strong enough,
Yeah.
price becomes
secondary.
a secondary concern.
Yeah.
Think about it this way.
Okay.
The more invested someone is in a purchase,
Yeah.
the less price sensitive they become.
That's true.
They're already bought in.
Yeah, they're bought in.
So if you can create that level of desire and position yourself as the obvious solution,
The obvious solution.
you're in a much stronger position.
You're no longer
You're no longer just another vendor.
another vendor
You're the trusted expert
that holds the key.
that holds the key to their
Desired outcome.
desired outcome.
Yes.
So speaking of price, Kennedy makes this bold statement.
All right.
He says, most people are price cowards.
Price cowards.
Price cowards. And he uses the example of watching people buy overpriced Mickey Mouse.
Those balls at Disney.
Balls at Disney World,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's all about how context shapes
Right.
our perception of price.
Right.
That $200 ball wouldn't fly at Walmart,
No.
but at Disney, it's
Part of the experience.
it's part of the experience.
The experience. You're at Disney.
You're at
You got to
right.
get the
Got to get the ball.
Mickey Mouse ball.
Yeah,
Right? It's so fascinating how people justify those purchases
Yeah.
because they're just caught up
Caught up in the moment.
in the moment.
To magic.
The magic of Disney.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And even talks about how they strategically choose like the medium price ball
Oh, yeah.
after being presented with an even more expensive option.
It's all about framing and perception.
It's all about framing and perception.
Mm-hmm.
He argues that price is actually the ninth thing people consider when making a decision.
Ninth.
Ninth.
Really?
Ninth.
Yeah.
He means that if you nail the other 8 things,
Authenticity.
credibility,
Credibility.
but genuine value that you provide.
Genuine value. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then price becomes
Less of a barrier.
much less of a barrier.
Mm-hmm.
He even shares some tactical advice on framing prices, highlighting the power of rationale.
I love that.
Remember that copy machine example?
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
That study about people cutting in line at the copy machine?
Yeah. It's amazing how a simple reason,
Even a nonsensical one.
even a nonsensical one, made people more likely to say yes.
It's true.
Just the word. Because
Because-
triggers something in us to just accept things more easily.
Right.
Right? So instead of just saying, my fee is $10,000,
You could say,
you could say my fee is $10,000
that says it includes.
because it includes
Or list out the valuable components.
the valuable components and benefits.
Yes.
You're giving them a
The
reason
reason to say yes.
to say yes, even if it's on a subconscious level,
Even if it's subconscious.
if it suddenly feels
logical.
logical and justified.
And justified.
And justified.
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy also stresses the importance of knowing your ideal client
Mm-hmm.
and becoming a specialist, not a generalist.
Specialist, not a generalist.
And not a generalist.
Yeah.
He gave the example of that wealth manager
Oh, yeah.
who niched down to focus solely on clients who'd recently sold their companies for millions.
Same services.
Same service.
Different client.
Different clients,
Higher fees.
higher fees. You become the go-to person for their unique problem.
Yes.
You escape the trap of being just another vendor,
Another commodity.
another commodity he talks a lot about,
Avoiding that.
avoiding that perception.
Yeah.
He used the analogy of a convenience store.
Oh, yeah.
People choose them purely out of convenience.
Convenience.
There's no loyalty.
Right.
You don't want to be that kind of business.
You want to be the destination.
You want to be the destination.
The sought-after expert.
The sought-after expert. That's how you break free from the constraints
of commodity pricing.
of commodity pricing. He had some really cool tips for achieving that. like writing a book.
Writing a book.
To establish your authority.
Instead of relying on
brochures.
Brochure.
Or revealing your thinking process.
Instead
of hiding behind fancy presentations.
Interesting. It's about showcasing that expertise.
Showcasing the expertise.
Authenticity.
And authenticity.
People buy from people they know, like, and trust.
People buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Another thing that really resonated with me was this idea of delinking work from money.
Delinking work from money.
Delinking work from money.
Okay.
He argued that focusing too much on deliverables traps you in a commodity mindset.
Right.
He said that in his own business, only about 10% of his income is directly tied
to the deliverables.
To the actual deliverables. The rest comes from
who he is, his
reputation, his network, the value he brings beyond
the services.
It's just the services. He called it the self-aggrandizement business.
Interesting.
I love that.
The self-aggrandizement business.
Yeah, it's about building your personal brand.
Yeah.
And becoming synonymous with your niche. So the real value you offer might not be like tangible things.
It might be your problem-solving skills.
Your problem-solving skills.
Your connection.
Your connection, the opportunities you create.
Yeah.
The opportunities you create, think bigger than just the tasks you perform.
Yes.
Kennedy also talked about the importance of violating industry norms.
Violating industry norms.
Yeah. Yeah. He said true success often comes from
breaking the rules,
doing things differently.
Like a sleep number.
Bypassing
Bypassing those traditional mattress distributors.
The mattress distributors. Disney's strategic park design.
Oh, yeah.
Or Infusionsoft, using that host parasite marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Partnering with other businesses to reach their target audience.
They didn't play by the rules.
They did not play by the rules.
And it paid off big time. It's a reminder that the path less traveled might be the most rewarding.
The path less traveled.
Be willing to challenge that status quo and experiment. Yeah.
Love it. What about that dramatic urgency thing you talked about?
Oh, yeah.
Making your message impossible to ignore.
Impossible to ignore.
Remember that example of the prospecting letter?
Oh, yeah.
He wrote for the convenience store security consultant.
He painted a vivid picture.
Of the problem. And created that sense of urgency.
That urgency for the recipient to take action.
Yeah.
Right.
He highlighted those negative consequences of inaction.
Oh, yeah.
Lost profits.
Employees taking advantage.
Nobody wants to be in that position. So it's about making the problem feel real. And immediate. Showing the potential client that the cost of doing nothing. Is greater than the cost of your solution. Wow. We've covered so much ground.
We have.
Kennedy really challenges our assumptions about money, business, and success.
He does.
And he gives us so many tactical and strategic insights.
It's almost overwhelming.
So
much to work with.
Welcome back. Ready for more Dan Kennedy wisdom?
He gave us so much to work with.
I know.
Where should we even start?
Okay, what about that commitment ladder concept? He said, the more someone invests in the process, the less price becomes a sticking point.
It's like when you go to the mall just to browse. You're less likely to buy anything.
Right.
But if you go with a mission, start trying things on, suddenly you're walking out with bags. So those free consultations or discovery calls a lot of businesses offer. Oh, yeah.
Those are actually smart strategy.
Right.
You're getting potential clients invested in the process, increasing their commitment level.
But the time they're discussing price, they're already sold on working with you. Their desire outweighs any price concerns.
So smart. He also mentioned something called a pre-existing established agreement for pricing.
Pre-existing established agreement.
That sounded kind of intriguing.
It's brilliant, actually. Remember his example of charging a set fee for a day of consulting?
Okay.
That establishes a base value for everything else.
So if your day rate is $5,000 and a client needs a project, that'll take 3 days.
You can easily justify a price of $15,000.
$15,000, it's already built into your pricing structure.
No awkward negotiations. It's transparent and makes sense to the client.
It makes sense. He also talked about framing your price to make it seem reasonable. Because technique was a real eye-opener.
That study he mentioned about people cutting in line at the copy machine, it's amazing how a simple reason, even a nonsensical one, made people more likely to say yes.
Yeah.
Because it just triggers something in us to accept things more easily.
Because why?
I don't know, but it works.
It works. So instead of just saying my fee is $10,000.
You could say my fee is $10,000 because... And list out the valuable components and benefits.
You're giving them a reason to say yes.
A reason to say yes, even if it's on a subconscious level. It suddenly feels logical and justified.
Logical and justified, Kennedy, also stress the importance of knowing your ideal client and becoming a specialist, not a generalist.
Specialist, not a general.
Not a generalist.
Okay.
He gave that example of that wealth manager who niched down to focus solely on clients who'd recently sold their companies for millions.
Millions.
Same services, different clients, higher fees.
Higher fees. You become the go-to person for their unique problem.
And you escape that trap of being just another vendor, another commodity.
Right, another commodity. He talks a lot about avoiding that perception.
Avoiding that perception.
He used the analogy of a convenience store.
Okay.
People choose them purely out of convenience.
Convenience, yeah.
There's no loyalty.
Right.
You don't want to be that kind of business.
You want to be the destination, the sought-after expert.
The sought-after expert.
Yeah.
That's how you break free from the constraints of commodity pricing.
Right, commodity pricing. He had some cool tips for achieving that, like writing a book to establish your authority instead of relying on brochures or revealing your thinking process instead of hiding behind fancy presentations.
It's about showcasing your expertise and authenticity. Remember, people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
And trust. Another thing that really resonated with me was his idea of delinking work from money.
Delinking work from money.
He argued that focusing too much on deliverables traps you in a commodity mindset.
Okay.
He said in his own business, only about 10% of his income is directly tied to the actual deliverables. The rest comes from
who he is,
his reputation, his network, the value he brings beyond just the services.
He called it the self-aggrandizement business.
The self-aggrandizement business.
It's about building your personal brand and becoming synonymous with your niche.
So the real value you offer might not be tangible things, but your problem-solving skills, your connections, the opportunities you create.
Think bigger than just the tasks you perform.
Kennedy also talked about the importance of violating industry norms.
Violating industry norms?
He said true success often comes from breaking the rules, doing things differently.
Like Sleep Number bypassing those traditional mattress distributors?
Disney's strategic park design.
Or Infusionsoft using that host-parasite marketing strategy, partnering with other businesses to reach their target audience. They didn't play by the rules, and it paid off big time.
It's a reminder that the path less traveled might be the most rewarding. Be willing to challenge the status quo and experiment.
Challenge the status quo, experiment.
What about that dramatic urgency thing he talked about, making your message impossible to ignore?
Impossible to ignore. Remember that example of the prospecting letter he wrote for the convenience store security consultant?
Oh, yeah.
He painted a vivid picture of the problem and created that sense of urgency for the recipient to take action.
He highlighted the negative consequences of inaction, lost profits, employees taking advantage. Nobody wants to be in that position. So it's about making the problem feel real and immediate, showing the potential client that the cost of doing nothing is greater than the cost of your solution. Wow, we've covered so much ground.
So much.
Kennedy really challenges our assumptions about money, business, and success.
And he gives us so many tactical and strategic insights to work with. It's almost overwhelming.
So what's resonating with you the most so far? What's sticking in your mind?
For me, it's the reminder that success isn't just about hard work or even working smart. It's about thinking differently, understanding the forces at play, and aligning yourself with them.
It's about creating a business that reflects your values and priorities. A business that gives you the autonomy and freedom to live the life you want.
And it's about realizing that price is often a reflection of perception, not necessarily value. Position yourself correctly, build that strong reputation, and price becomes less of an obstacle.
There's still so much to unpack from this talk. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive into the big picture takeaways and how you can apply them to your own journey. All right, we are back for the final stretch of our deep dives into Dan Kennedy's world. Let's shift gears and talk about those big picture takeaways and how you can apply all of this wisdom to your own journey.
Yeah, he leaves us with a lot to think about. It's a call to action, to step outside of the box, challenge those limiting beliefs we have about money, and really focus on building our unique authority.
I like that. And he uses this funny analogy about how women are perfectly fine leaving a store empty-handed if they don't find what they're looking for.
Right.
While men feel this like primal urge to buy something, anything.
Yeah, gotta buy something.
Why not buy something?
It's about being intentional.
Intentional.
And selective with your choices, not just reacting to those external pressures or expectations. Don't buy the Mickey Mouse ball just because you're at Disney World.
Don't buy the ball.
Yeah.
He also wants us to like take a hard look at how we view ourselves and our businesses.
Yeah. He asks this really powerful question.
What is it?
How do you think about you?
Oh.
It's a real gut check moment.
It is, are we playing small or stepping into our full potential? Are we content being just another vendor, or are we striving to become that sought-after expert?
He challenges us to figure out what truly makes us stand out in the marketplace. What's our unique value proposition? Are we blending in with the crowd or forging our own path?
He even uses this kind of extreme thought experiment to drive the point home.
He says, if there's nothing unique about what I do, well, jump.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, he's being provocative, but the message is clear.
Yeah.
Find what makes you different. What valuable contribution you bring to the table. Don't just take up space.
Yeah, don't just be another face in the crowd, right? And remember, changing our external circumstances starts with changing our internal world.
Yeah.
He emphasizes that information alone isn't enough. We need to engage in what he calls different thinking.
Different thinking.
To create different outcomes.
It's like those doctors he talked about who smoke even though they know it's harmful.
Right.
Knowledge doesn't always translate into action.
Right. You got to really put it into practice.
Yeah.
We have to shift our mindsets, our beliefs, our very way of thinking if we want to achieve those breakthroughs.
It takes conscious effort.
Conscious effort.
To challenge those old assumptions and embrace new perspectives, to really internalize these ideas and put them into practice.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought from Dan Kennedy that really stuck with me.
Okay, what is it?
He said, how you think about all this determines what you bank.
Ooh, I like that.
How you think about all this determines what you bank.
Let that sink in for a moment.
Your mindset around money, status, and autonomy directly impacts your success. Are you playing it safe, or are you ready to step up and claim your worth?
What actions can you take today to start aligning yourself with greater success and fulfillment? What one belief about money might be holding you back? And what would it take to shift that belief and step into a whole new level of abundance?
That's it for our deep dive into the brilliant mind of Dan Kennedy. We hope you found it valuable and insightful. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.